The life course theory is one of the developmental theories in criminology that studies the changes in criminal offending patterns over a person's entire life. The events and circumstances that someone faces in their life either raises or lowers their propensity for crime. For example, if a 10-year-old witnesses his or her father committing a violent crime, his or her propensity for crime will raise, which means they will be more likely to commit a crime in the future. Another example is physical abuse. Physical abuse causes a child to be antisocial. When a child is antisocial, they are more susceptible to bullying, which creates feelings of anger, resentment, and isolation. Another example are people associated with low-income families. Low-income families are at higher risk for criminality because they are more likely to participate in deviant behavior like selling of narcotics or prostitution as an alternate means of income. A common factor throughout childhood is the one-parent household case, in which studies have shown cause a higher risk for criminal activity later in one's life. For a third example, not following the normal order of life, growing up and going to school, working, getting married, and having children. People do not have to necessarily follow this order, but criminals usually do not follow this and have difficulty during transitional periods. When adolescents are able to excel in institutions such as schools, churches, and community centers, they are less likely to resort to criminal activities to occupy their time. When determining criminality through the life course theory, the environment and circumstances that surround a person's upbringing determine their propensity for crime. At a young age, children are very impressionable and imitate the actions of those around them. If negative influences surround a child his or her whole life, they will be more inclined to imitate those negative behaviors. In a study of juvenile offending and crime in early adulthood, more than 50% of the variance in criminal outcomes on the basis of measures of background, early adversity, psychological characteristics, and age of first juvenile arrest or referral. Factors occurring at a younger stage in life are predominantly influential on crime risks than later life experiences. A real-life example of a life course persistent offender is John Wayne Gacy. John was mistreated by his father, who was an abusive alcoholic. His father would abuse him to the point of unconsciousness. He was also sexually molested by a family friend as a child and bullied at a young age for being overweight. These traumatic childhood events caused John Wayne Gacy to grow up to be a life course persistent offender.